Game face on. People are going to get a good view of my tonsils. Fillings today.
Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to the Friday TFI show. Here we are with you live across the airways on the 30th of April, the last day of the month. Payday. We'll be
Payday,
paid.
Andy.
Payday, Andy.
Turn sound up. I can't hear anything you say.
No,
Hold on, we've just got to adjust the volume level.
Oh,
You're a
which
bit
microphone
quiet.
you got on?
Talk louder.
Oh, we've got wrong mic on.
Have you got the wrong mic on? You just sound a bit far away.
Yeah, we've got wrong mic on as well. Sorry.
That's right, we're early anyway, so this technically isn't happening. Good afternoon to Alan, who's in Ottawa, Canada. Good afternoon. All right, we'll just let him sort himself out a bit. There you go. Look, actually they're playing Pong.
That's it. We're done.
Pong.
Yeah.
Sound better?
So I know. Hit your ball.
Hey.
That's it. That's the one. You're in.
I don't know why it just defaults back to normal one. So, yeah.
One of those weird situations. I have the same thing. If I actually turn off my computer, it's fine. But if I unplug it or turn it off at the wall, I lose all my default settings. So it's fine as long as it seems to have an earth that's in. If you de-earth it, it loses everything. But anyway, good afternoon to Stefan. We've got, well, loads. I'm not going to try now because it's gone mental. Good afternoon to everybody. Lots of people in there. Loads of people in the Flory chat as well.
Yeah, there is. They've all piled
They've
in.
all piled in now, isn't it?
30 seconds or so, because there was like 2 people in there about 10 minutes ago.
It's a bit like when you're in the cinema, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone piles in at the last possible second.
Well,
With a popcorn and jumbo
I
coke.
say they wait for the adverts to finish before the film starts.
Yes. Yes, many a time you sit in the cinema and it looks empty when the lights go down. And when the lights come up, it's like, where did everyone come from?
Yeah, Anyway,
Hope you're all doing very well. Been a very, very busy week this week. Been very busy over in PM land as well.
Very.
today. It's been a bit manic, to be honest, this morning. It's just seemed to have flown by. So, we had a Elwyn Alloys delivery yesterday because I was off yesterday doing other things. So I came in and we got an Elwyn Alloys order in. So that's like surfaces and levelling thinners and all that sort of stuff's back in stock. And we've had the Sabres come in, and obviously behind you, Phil, as you can see, the Hornets came in. So that pre-order was done. What else do we have in? Something else, haven't we, this week? I've lost track, to be honest. But yeah, it's been busy.
Yeah.
It's been busy, and it's Andy's last day for a week.
Border models.
Well, yeah, we've got some new stuff. We'll show at the advert, the new arrivals. But yes,
Yeah, when I'm on holiday for a week.
I'm on my own next week, so don't expect good service next week because see how I feel. I might post on a Tuesday.
Yes,
because it's Bank Holiday Monday.
that's it. Don't forget, that is one thing that is important. It is Bank Holiday Monday in the UK, so there's no post or anything. There'll be the next part of videos up and various things from me, but from sales side of it, obviously there's no post, so no orders can go out anyway. Unfortunately, so don't know if anywhere else in the world having a bank holiday on Monday, or is it just us?
Just us, I think.
Being May Day.
May Day, and then there's another one at the end, isn't there, for Whit?
Yeah.
So yes, so posting will be Tuesday from any orders over this weekend.
Very good. Right, okay, so if we have a quick flashback at this week to see what we've been up to. Obviously, it all started on Monday with the final part of the X15 went up. As you can see down in here for the old reveal videos. Again, it was one of those builds where I've had it in my stash for seems ever. Really wanted to do it, but the whole point of this particular build was to really demonstrate about black. And, you know, because obviously we get a lot of questions asking about painting black and weathering black and how you go about it, so forth and so on. So I thought, right, well, if we do, a proper sort of heated black scheme, shall we say, and everything else like that, trying to make it look a little bit crusty without being burnt to death. So we basically went with this particular scheme on this one. Really happy how it turned out. LP paints, to be honest, used on this one. This is the LP metallizers. not metalizers, metallics I should say, and they're coached right the way through. So that went down very, very well on there. So the last part of that one up, which I think was a 12-parter, it was, went up on Monday. So that completes off that build. And as I say, really enjoyed it. Very nice. Glad I went with the fuel tank scheme, because I think it just makes it at the end of the day. As if it's just been the normal one, you don't get the contrast with the colours, but with the white and the sort of the orangey red colour under here and all the rest of it and the high vis markings, I think it just works really, really well. So I was very happy how that one turned out in the end. So that was your Monday video show. On Tuesday, we had the daily show, and I did a couple of reviews as well. So we had the reviews on the F-16 books by Eagle Aviation. Fantastic. We spoke about it on the show as well, about reference books and the different types of reference books that are out there. So we're looking at the ones which are really just a walk around photo type guide, not a lot of wording in them, right the way up to like the Richard Franks, which are the sort of definitive, everything you ever needed to know about an aircraft is in there type books as well. So that video is up in here as well if you want to see that one, and a few other bits and pieces that we were up to on there. On Wednesday, we actually had the PM show, which looks a bit like this one. Down in there as well. So obviously with the new stuff that had come in, and also we were talking about Matt's finished off his vehicle for his little truck.
Yes, it's down here in front of Andy, so you can roll it around. Like
yes, is he playing with it and doing driving sounds?
Look. It won't go that fast.
That's it. So anyway, final part of that went up as well. These are free to watch as well, so if you click around you'll find them, and obviously they're on the PM YouTube channel as well. So if you want to have a look on that one, you can see all of the builds that Matt's been up to down in there. And again, great job on a fantastic little kit. It's small, but again, beautifully formed, very nice mixed media. So it is metal chassis, metal cab, the rest of it's plastic, and it really nice. Didn't it? Went together well, Matt.
It's fantastic, proper little mojo build, and cheap as well on top. So it's I really enjoyed it actually. It was good.
Looks really nice as well.
Did turned out absolutely lovely. So good job on that one. And then on Thursday, obviously it was the chat last night. What's that popped up? It was the chat last night as well, and we saw lots of your great work and just general chit chat as well, everything that's going on with the forum, and also the review for the McLaren MP4 C2 went up as well from the 86 Grand Prix. Very nice kit as well from Nunu. So again, one of those, if you're into your Formula One and everything else like that, you will absolutely love it. Okay, and that brings you up to today, which is obviously this show, and obviously part one, which will pop up in a moment as well, with the Zero went up this morning as well for members to watch along with that one. So very good, must admit. It's been a busy week this week with everything that's going on. And as I say, end of the month, you got all that crap that goes along with it, like VAT, bills, paying, and all the usual bits. It's like, ugh.
Adult stuff, innit?
Adult stuff, yes, and stuff like that. So other thing to remember is don't forget that the Seasick SIG, or the High Seas SIG, finishes tonight at midnight, wherever you are. So I'll lock it down and everything tomorrow. Why is Andy looking like that?
Hold on a minute. I think you need to run a bit of an extension so Andy can finish.
What? You know what he'll do? He'll slip his in at the end anyway. So anyway, that finishes tomorrow. I'll lock it down probably sometime in the morning as well. So if you are getting close to finishing, I know we've got in here, I've got the thing just here. We've got currently on there 118 finishes, 183 on the go. So yes, so if you're pushing through, now's the time to get on with it. I'll lock it down probably around about mid-morning tomorrow morning on that one. Remember, there is no medals or anything else like for that one. That's purely just a good old pat on the back, and you get it for the video for the reveal, which I'll do for next Friday as well on that particular one. Current one that's going on at the moment is obviously we've got the 60s one, but you've got a bit more time on that because you've got till June the 30th. And obviously just started off the next SIG, which we started last week for Anzac Day, which is basically the Anzac SIG. And you've got loads of time on that because that doesn't finish until the 31st of August. So by then, the summer will be over.
Yes.
Lockdown 3.
If it starts.
So, yes.
Think on our thing, because we think some bits are in the wrong section. Apparently.
No, it was part of a competition. It's now ruined the competition. I can't do it now.
Oh look, sold out anyway.
What's that?
It's all right. We've had a couple of bits moved into the wrong bit for whatever reason, but it don't matter because we've sold out of them anyway.
Oh, right. Okay.
So not to worry.
Dragging them out of.
Yeah, it is. I know they're from new arrivals as well, aren't they? So. So yes, and for the Anzac Sigurd, my new video build is the Lancaster nose art. So I had some bits turn up because you've had some pop bits turn up today as well, haven't you?
I have. We'll have a look at these in a minute because I've never seen them before. So we can have a live. Literally, it turned up 3 minutes before we came on air. So but yes, very nice indeed. So yeah, I'm starting off with the 0 at the moment, which is somewhat up here. As we're going on with this one, look, I can play it in quiet mode. Just like this is ongoing. Let me skip out of me yapping about it and move on to it. So that one, but the thing is, the big thing is I wanted to try, this is the Quinta Studios 3D resin sets. Obviously lots have been said about these, but I've never ever had them in my own fair hands. You haven't you, Andy? Haven't you got the one for the hind?
I've got one for the hind, yeah.
But I haven't, and I still haven't because they are still literally down here in my little bag. So if I just grab a camera, where are we? Oh, no, not that one. No, that's the security cameras. Everyone can look around the house. Where are we? There we go. So these are these ones here. So as you can see, they're very nice. They're just replacements. So think of them like colour photo etch, but instead of being flat like photo etch is, they're a little bit more sort of 3D-ish. So this is them. And to be honest, I was a little bit underwhelmed by when this turned up, because in the pictures online, they look a lot bigger. I think they've got a small person, can't say the other word, holding them, because they look a lot bigger in his hand than they do in mine. And I've got big hands. So, but anyway, this is these ones here. No, wrong one. Hold on, that's the one you want. So if we have a look in baggie number 1, if I can get it out, talk about fits where it touches. What I might do is do a quick little review of these before we go in. But as I say, they're not massively 3D, but when you run your finger over them, you can properly feel them. So it's probably quite a nice scale effect. You catch it on the side there, you can see they are, it's enough. I think it's the correct scale for it. The colouring, I'm not 100% on, if I'm honest. I don't know. It just looks like generic sort of light green and greys. It doesn't look to be anything, I don't know what I'll be expecting, but you know what I mean? It just doesn't have that sort of colour effect to it that you get sometimes with the Yuma stuff. Their printing is absolutely fantastic. The colours on them I've always thought are pretty much the best out there. But also what I wanted to know is how well these bend, because obviously this is harnesses and we've got wiring down in here and a bit of plumbing. And apparently all of this bends as well. So it's interesting to see, being resin, how well it actually bends. So yeah. I think it's definitely one of those ones where it would be quite interesting to play with it. As I said, never played with it before, but I thought it'd be quite an interesting one to do. But from a feel point of view, they're very tactile. They're definitely very, very raised. I don't know how well the camera actually picks up on that. But yes, what did you think to them, Andy?
Yeah, I thought it's fair. The ones I've got, they've got a lot more, been a more semi-modern aircraft behind. There's a lot more switches and things on it, so they start stuck up quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's difficult to tell from seeing on camera what they're like, but
I like the dials.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to catch. You see the glossiness of the dials.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
Tim just said that the glossiness of the stands out on camera, and it does look really good, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I'm personally, I am crap, to be honest, at painting cockpits and stuff, as in detail wise. I'm better with my Posca pens these days. It's a doddle, but it's so much easier using colour photo etch to sort of bang these down and away you go, and having this effect where it is 3D. But that dial effect is the best I've seen on anything so far, because that just looks very scaled, doesn't it?
Yeah, difficult to go back to standard coloured photo etch.
Even decals now look crap, don't they?
Yes.
Because of Edard, they've sort of started it originally with the coloured etch sets, and then obviously it's now progressed to 3D printing. So, I mean, I've got, if you click arrow, my overhead on, for this Lancaster front end, I have got the Kits World seatbelt set, which again is 3D printed. So hopefully these will bend and manoeuvre and do what they need to do. So I'm interested, because I've never used them either, so I'm interested to try try that. I tell you what, I have noticed. I don't know if you noticed about when you reviewed this kit. The instrument panel. It's got no detail, as in there's no dials on a decal sheet.
I must admit, I don't think I noticed that, to be honest.
Which is like, I think I have got some which was going to give to Andy and I lost them. Then I've found them and I'm trying to remember what I did with them. But some, the dial sets you get. Who does them? What's the company called? Airscale.
Airscale, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to dig them out and obviously I might have to use them. But yeah, there's no.
Just go back on to us again, Phil, while you're talking. Notice on the
Oh yeah.
drawing.
Look.
Yes.
Co-pilot sat next to the pilot.
Yeah, that's clever, isn't it? How's he doing that?
He's magic, isn't it?
Mind you, didn't they? I could be wrong on this. Wasn't there like a bench, fold-down bench you could sit on?
Not in my kit, they're in. Look.
I don't know.
This is the instructions for the cockpit. He's up on his pedestal, look, the pilot, and there's no next to him.
Just like a little walkway.
There's like a little walkway, I presume, where we can get to the front.
Yeah, that's right.
But there's not what I can see a seat or anything. Like a fold-down seat, I don't know, because I need to do a bit of research. But yeah, if you go to this part here, obviously you've got the dial detail.
Yeah.
But there's actually no dials.
Oh.
So I've got to figure out.
So there isn't. I thought the full-size kit, didn't it have a photo etch one? Did they not put the photo etch set? That's where it'll be, wouldn't it? It was. I'm sure it was a clear piece of photo etch. Not a clear photo etch, but a bit of photo etch for the detail for the bezels and everything. Perhaps
I have got some photo etch. Hold on. Now you've just said that. Watch it. It's actually.
I was going to say, I thought that's what it was.
There's my photo etch.
Oh, right, and it's not on there.
No, and then that's me decal sheet. Look.
Oh.
No, it's in the bag, but yeah, there's definitely no dials in there because I did have a look. So, like I say, I have got some Airscale ones, so I'm probably going to have to dig them out and then.
It's 30 seconds. A man of your caliber could
paint it.
Paint them, yeah.
Where is the thing? Hold on, where's the. Oh, so there's the instrument dial. So you have got.
Yeah.
Stuff on it.
But nothing to properly.
But no dials or anything.
No. You should have the basic 6 in that centre, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh God! Well, thanks for that, Paul. Filled me with confidence. I've used Kidswell 3D decals on a recent build. Not impressed. What was wrong with them? Some more info, so I can. Well, I've got the photo etch ones if it comes to it. But yeah, I was a bit like, for this scale, you'd expect some dials or a decal or something.
Yes.
That. So. Don't know. Anyway, I'll get round it one way or another.
Yes, maybe because there is obviously like when I did the B17, you can get colour. I can't remember whose I used on the B17, but a colour instrument panel for it because I cheated with that as well.
Apparently, there's Russell said there is a fold-down seat co-pilot used. All right, okay.
No, I thought there was like just a fold-down bench, wasn't it, next to it?
Yeah,
and you could sit there.
I'll have to keep an eye out for it when I build it because obviously I've not got that far yet.
Mind you, if it hasn't got the instrument panel on it, do you think it will have the seat?
Again, what you're going to see in the cockpit, I know you're going to see some of it because it is like glass, but I don't know. We'll see. No, I was moving because somebody's asked about my knuckles because obviously I've got scraped knuckles. Look,
yeah, you've been fighting
it was,
again.
Yeah, upset the neighbours. No, it was moving stone down to our back garden and catching them on the fence and the gate as I was wheeling them through in my wheelbarrow. Because I did say to you, didn't I, when I got the film, I'm like, right, thingy with like busted up knuckles. It looks like I've been fighting.
Yes, it's never a good look. I remember years ago I got a black eye, and obviously doing the shows, would you do? Sit here, wear glasses, or would you just fess up and say, actually, no? Yeah. I walked into a door honest. That's what you get for saying no. And but yeah, it's one of those things. It's quite embarrassing at the time, but you can't sit there wearing glasses because it might as well just as obvious, isn't it?
It's first rule of Fight Club, isn't it?
Well, this is true.
Just don't hit the face.
No, yeah, anywhere but not the face. Yeah, not the hands on the. With me, I'm like not the hands on the face. Anywhere else you like. But anyway, somebody was saying, are these self-adhesive? I don't know. So I've never used them before. I'm assuming they probably aren't.
I don't think they are. I think it does tell you to use.
It
PVA
tells
blue.
you to use.
Has it got
It tells you
instructions?
to use this, Phil.
Oh yeah,
That's what
that'd be
it
a
tells
good
you to
one.
use.
Yes, a bit of our gluey stuff.
Yeah.
So remove kit parts, blah 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 blah. Remove. Oh, that's just for removing stuff. Fair enough. So yes.
Aha.
Well, look, we'll give it a whirl next week. You can watch this space. Literally, I've been waiting to come in. I have already done it. It's all here, but I needed to know which bits I need to remove the surface detail before spraying it and doing it. But the cockpit is done. It's just waiting to find out exactly. Because I was looking online, but I wasn't 100% on some things. But now I've got the proper instructions. I can work out what needs to be flattened off so these can stick to them. And then we'll get them painted and sorted out. So yes, never mind. All good
So in the
stuff.
Dam Busters Lanc, there's a co-pilot. But are they special Lancasters for that job that they had to do? Or were they standard ones? Because it wouldn't be fitting to put a couple of seats in, would it?
They were
really?
highly modified, weren't they? But I don't know where they put seats in them. Changed all the aerials and things, didn't they? And
Yeah.
put a big,
I don't know.
round thing underneath it.
Yeah, big barrel-y thing underneath. But yeah, I just wondered if they.
I don't know if they changed the cockpit or anything else like that on there, did they? I think it was just all underneath, wasn't it? For the new fairing and for the bouncing bomb and the mechanism for it.
Yeah, so I think they had new different aerials and things on them, and obviously the search
I'm gonna
light
have
thing
to-
underneath it. But
Now I've started this Lanc, I'm going to have to do a bit of research. So I'm going to crack myself in a hole with it on now, I think.
Yes.
You know,
just build it.
well, I need a little bit of knowledge. Because I have none, apart from I know what it is.
Have you decided on what markings you're going to go for? Are you going to go aftermarket or are you going to go something out
I'm
of the
using
box?
the kit ones because it does, like I said, it does the Royal Australian Air Force, so it's going to cover the Anzac one. So it's the one at Waddington in 1944, so it's that one.
Yeah.
Did some missions by the looks of it.
Yeah.
So that's the one I'm going to do. There's actually two, because there's one at Bimbrook. Where's Bimbrook?
Germany.
Hey? What?
Bimbrook, UK, 1944.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was thinking of the German version.
No. It's Bimbrook in Lincolnshire. Oh,
Don't know, to be honest.
it's mainly like Yorkshire and Lincolnshire for the bombers, but where's Bimbrook?
Let me
That's Dr. Google will help you.
Google.
It's not chat. I bet the chat puts up for you can Google it.
Yeah, quick. Somebody
Lincolnshire.
get in there
There you
before.
go, Lincolnshire. I thought it was
you
Lincolnshire.
go.
Thank you, Russell. Thank you, Phil. Don't bother, mate. They've done it.
It's in Lincolnshire.
I thought it was because
East Lindsey.
Apparently, the second co-pilot seat was a special seat. Standard ones didn't have it. Post-war Lancs did have it, though, same as the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight Lanc.
Oh, see.
Mm.
Right. Okay.
Mm. So
And I'm
yes.
gonna employ it. What did we decide the circle was behind his head?
I think we ever did we? Did we say it denotes armoured plating?
Yeah, it's something to do with that side forward, isn't it? For it's it's for the armoured seat because obviously
Yeah.
they have a direction.
Because it's obviously going to go on his headrest part, I suppose. That armoured plating bit. So, but there's nothing for that. I'm going to have to mask and paint that as well.
Oh right,
There's
okay.
no decal or anything for it. You'd think they'd,
It's funny as well because they've done not being funny, the original kit.
Yes.
You think they would have if there was the odd error, and let's face it, most kits have them. They might have fixed it for this release, but clearly not.
Yeah, there's a few odd bits missing out of it, but so far so good. Like I said, I built the seat, as you can see, which is quite detailed, and
It's very nice.
I could sit in that home.
Yeah.
In a nice rocking chair, isn't it?
Yes, the Bear says Bimbrook was a very famous RAF base for Lightning's post-war. It sits on a
That's
hill
it.
in Links. Yes.
That's why I've heard of Bimbrook, because of the lightnings.
Yeah.
On the East Coast, isn't it?
Very flat in Lincolnshire, isn't it?
Very.
Good for runways.
Apparently, yes, it's the armoured plate. It affects the compass. Does it? Is it magnetic? Just flying around in circles. It's like,
Assume it would if it's a steel plate behind your head. It's going to be retracted, isn't it? So, right, Right. So what's the yellow bit for then? Just to denote what it is, or
I thought that's
is
what we agreed on last time. Somebody knowledgeable said it denotes it's the side which is
right.
the
The armoured side.
the armoured side, yeah,
Put it
versus so
slightly-
they know which way round it is.
I don't think you could. It's kind of not a flat plate.
Mm.
I don't know about a real lake. If it might be, I suppose. I don't know. Yeah, I suppose it is actually, isn't it? You know, if there's a bit of a curve in it.
Still like to have a cannon shell hit the back.
No, I was about to say that. You won't like a 190 or a 109 coming at you from behind and shooting at you, would you? So
That's the only trouble with planes like that. When you're sat up there in a greenhouse, you feel a bit exposed, don't you?
imagine, yeah. As they was happy they were at night, but still, you are a bit, yes, a bit exposed. That's a nice colour.
Yes, nice, isn't it? And look, I'm colouring in.
Painting
with my Posca pens.
Yes.
Do me colouring in work. Give it up painting with brushes. I just colour everything in now. It's no longer moulding, it's like colouring in. It's a bit like this is great, it's a bit like doing circles and stuff like on the bottom of this one. It was like, normally this would actually be a little bit of a pain to put these little circles here. But obviously with the Posca pen, you just go, and it's a 2-second job. So like all of that was done with the black Posca pen in there. And normally if that was like, you'd have to like flood it, wouldn't you? And sort of push it around a bit and hope it doesn't smudge. But with a pen, you're just like literally, it's a piece of cake. So good stuff. This is it. It's no longer modelling, it's colouring in.
Yeah. How are you finding it so far? Typical Tamiya.
So Neil says, how does it matter which side of the armoured plate? Back in the day, didn't have composite materials, so 4-inch thick steel plate. I think they did. I think they did. They weren't that far behind. They did have face sides for armoured stuff.
I think our chat's locked up. It has. Again. Yes. I think our chat's just locked up on me.
Oh, is it?
So, I said, are you enjoying your Tamiya kit?
Yes, I am. Definitely.
Done by this weekend?
No.
Next weekend?
No. Now me things have arrived. I get on with my cockpit. Because as I say, I've done it completely out of sequence. You normally do the cockpit, engine, everything first. Then you do wings and stuff. But I've already done wings and everything to done. So it's only engine and cockpit to do. So I can get those sorted, and then we're on to the actual ones of it. But I'm glad I've got a mask set. So no messing around with that one.
All right, yeah. Our chat locked up. Hold on a minute. I've got bloody loads missing here.
Yeah, they're saying about the Bimbrook, you get the front end of the Lightnings. Are they 10 grand a pop, are they, for a front end of a Lightning? I thought it'd be more than that, actually, for a good one.
Yeah. To get a seat in it?
Yeah.
So, right, now these 3D printed things then,
Yes.
because I've never used them, I think from what I've just read, you treat them like standard decals, you soak them in water and they become extremely difficult to position on the model. I thought you just peeled them off.
So did I.
I don't know, because I've never used them, so I'm not, if you manipulate them too much, they either fall apart or turn to mush. Good luck using them, Matt. You'll need it. They'll test your patience. Well, that don't need testing at the minute, to be honest. But it's a gas detector, that yellow circle.
Well, that's what they used to have them on the wings of.
Yeah, I thought no, that one's on the wings, isn't it? Because even early Lancs used to have them on the wing, but they ditched it when everyone wasn't using gas, were they?
We did have this ages ago, didn't we? We were talking about what it was, and
we did discuss that if it was in the cockpit, it'd be a bit late, wouldn't it? Oh look, the gas detach hatch has gone brown. You'd be like, that's a bit late now. See, it says here, prepare the area of the kit. In some cases, remove any raised details that may be parts on the rest of it. Optionally, the kit plastic parts may be primed and painted to provide a better adhesion for the 3D decal. Okay. Carefully apply the glue to the plastic kit parts in a uniform layer using microscale metal foil adhesive. or PVA glue or whatever.
Yeah, PVA.
And then it says separate the 3D decal part from its paper base, submerging them into warm water just like you would do with a conventional water slide decal. Then position it onto the kit plastic part, giving it some time to dry, approximately 20 minutes. To ensure extra adhesion, you may want to use a CA glue applicator to the side of the 3D decal part. Use with care. When recommended, using a bamboo toothpick or fine wire for this operation. Using super glue itself is not recommended. If small elements such as seat belts are present in the 3D layout, we recommend using super glue or cryo gel. Squeeze a drop of super glue out of the tube into a separate surface. Use a toothpick or a micro loop to basically put it onto the thing carefully. Well, that's good, because I must admit I thought you peeled it off.
That is decal paper though, isn't it? They are, well, looking at these, they are on decal paper, but that's a bit worrying if they just fall to pieces or go to mush.
Is this one of those, you know, where we've been banging on about hot water?
Yeah.
This might be one for cold water, just in case they melt.
I'm just reading between the lines here. You know how you actually just put a pool of water on your cutting mat?
Yeah.
Rather than actually dunking them in.
Not submerging it.
If that might be the better option, because that's
it's a bit of
just to soak, rather than drown them. I don't know, but right, okay.
Got plenty to go at anyway to
mess up.
Practice, yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
That's it.
No pressure. We'll be going back to the photo etch ones. But yeah,
I'm sure it'll be fine, and if it's not, I'll never use them again. But as I say, I wanted to use them on this one. Not that you're even going to be able to see it. And the cockpit, to be honest, is always really good on these kits. But I thought it'd be interesting to give it a whirl, to see what they're like.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's always nice to try new stuff, isn't it? So we will see. Oh yeah, look as well. Just nearly flimsy box. Got to have one of them, ain't you?
Well, what's that? I can't see.
Mass set.
Oh, it's a mass set for it. Sorry, it's all glary. You're glaring.
It's a bit.
It's a very big mass set, isn't
It
it?
is a huge mass set, isn't it?
Yeah, but you do realise that is for the full kit.
Right.
Because you can't get them just for the front end. So there's going to be a bit of anybody wants the turrets and you know.
Yeah, if anybody's not doing the actual cockpit,
that's not too bad actually, because I'm going to get most of it. It's only and a few windows, isn't it? It's going to be a few peepholes.
Very nice. Be very, very good.
The super glue, black super. Well, unless we've sold out of black super glues, it's start the debonder's on its way at some point.
And the clear one.
And the clear one, the magnet glue that we still we're waiting for the order to come in. So yeah. But the black glue's been in stock for a couple of weeks. If it's not sold out, I don't think we have. We've got a couple left.
There's a couple left, yeah.
Not many. And then there's a restock of that coming as well when it comes in. So yeah.
Very nice. All be good.
Yes.
All be good. Fun and games. Never mind. Right, I know it's a bit earlier, but should we have a look around the store?
Well, you have a look at no rivals, yeah.
That's about it. We've got the new arrival-y bit. Hold on, right, let me give it that, because this is coming to the end.
Because we've been snowed under today, we didn't get a chance to do any
specials
today.
Unfortunately, no new specials today. We'll make up for it when Andy's back.
Yes.
But as you can see, we have some border models, the Crusader tanks in, and a Tiger One.
Look at that.
It's about time we had a new one of them, because the other one's an Italeri one from the 70s.
Yes.
Right.
So it's nice to actually have a new tooled version of a Crusader Mark III.
Yes, very nice. Again, see, border models are really pushing them out at the moment, aren't they?
V-Cub did one.
No, the only other one is a Tamiya 48th one, or you're going like I think it's some 72nd ones, but yeah, no, it'd be nice to have a look at that. I didn't know that was coming to us. I didn't know they had it. It was on back, and that this is a good story. We got sent those by mistake because we should have had the Crusaders, and they made a bit of a cock up when they sent our order out. So we've ended up with the Tiger tanks, which I again didn't know was out anyway. And that is it. They ain't got any more.
Oh.
So we've ended up with a few of them. We ain't got many, but if anybody's interested in another Tiger tank, another version of it,
Spot one up today.
yeah, one's gone already. So
Very
It
nice.
does look very nice.
I know.
Do you get all the?
Do you get the barbed wire?
Oh, yeah, you do get the barbed wire. Yeah.
Cracky. That must be dangerous.
yeah, but why would it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you looked in the box.
No, it says on the front.
Oh.
Really?
That small little white writing. By the 1/35th bit.
What? It says
Oh,
it includes
okay.
1/35th scale barbed wire.
Yeah.
I can't see that small.
I looked at the box when I was putting them. Putting them.
Anyway, very nice kit indeed.
Yes.
I like old border model stuff. Very nice as well. So anyway, yes, finally, it's in. I'll get a review done this next week.
Yeah.
Really excited about that one, to be honest, purely because, I say, it's an up-to-date version of, which is very, very nice, unlike all the other ones that are out. So that'll be interesting to have a good look inside there for the old Superbug.
They have been going actually like hotcakes, haven't they? The F-18s.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the Saber's been popular.
Yeah.
Sabre, very popular kit. Obviously, like we were saying last night, everybody else is out of production at the moment, or very hard to find. So you can't find the Asagawa ones around, and you can't find the Academy. So
Yeah.
No. And, you know, if you're an expert on wings.
yeah, and obviously if you're an expert, to be honest, after looking at the PDF that one of the members put up on the site yesterday, it turns out it's a complete minefield.
Where was it? I think it was Tim on ours thing. Did he ask the question about it last night? Tim
Yeah.
English, was it? He says he's looked into it and lost interest. So he's not bothered anymore. Say, look, that's just right. Yeah, basically what he said was, he did look into it and he's like, not bothered now, it's lost. Yeah, just build it.
Yeah, just build it. Because at
It's
the
the
end of the
same
day,
thing.
apparently it depends on which day of the week it is,
Yes.
depending on which wings it would have had, because apparently they're all chopped and changed like the weather. So, yes.
Well, we looked at the PDF, didn't we, when we came off air last night?
Yeah,
And yeah.
It is an absolute minefield.
it is.
It's one of those I never realised there was that many variations, you know. But it is. It's certain dates they had certain wings, and it was depended on literally this, that, and the other. And it's like, my God, that's a proper minefield about what wings it had. So yes, very nice though. Anyway, it should be a nice kit.
Doesn't seem to make any difference on what mark it is, does it? It just, like you said, what?
That's it. Yeah, normally, isn't it? If it was like a particular mark, it would have a certain wings, but they are all over the place, wouldn't it? So just depended on the individual aircraft. But nevertheless, a very nice Sabre. It'll be interesting to have a look in the box of that one. And say I'll get a review of that done next week as well. So expect that early next week.
Where's the PDF?
The PDF is in the forum under research. It's in the research section in the forum. I'll bring it up in a minute and you can have a brief look because it's a nightmare. Other ones as well, I have to say, we've got the Ocean Hawk. This is the fantastic Kitty Hawk kit that I built last month, or month before now, wasn't it? 2 months ago now. Absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. I did the S860B, but again, if you wanted to do different versions of them, we've got pretty much more here, and you've got the Romeo as well, which is very nice as well, with all the various bits and pieces. Get some absolute stunning markings in it. Look at that. That proper
Do
nice
with that
is.
one, don't you? Do with that version, it is.
With all of them, you get nice markings, to be
Yeah, you
honest.
do.
But this particular one is very nice as well. So yes, some really, really smart ones down in there. They've done lots of cool markings with them, even though apparently there's a little bit of artistic license with a few of them.
Yeah, so we've had a few in, and possibly might be the last ones we had him for
A little
a
bit,
while.
Yeah.
But
So and then obviously the other stuff. Actually, if you do go into specials, I know we have updated it a little bit. There's a couple of bits on. So we've got in. I can't see that, Phil. Scroll down a bit. If you go the Academy F5, okay. Now people have been asking about the AFB Club one, haven't they?
Yes.
This is the AFB Club kit.
Yes.
So, from what research you looked into it, didn't you? There's no difference between a KF5E and an F5E. Am I correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So you can get any aftermarket decals for an F5E and whack them on that kit. So if you ignore the Korean decals and you want an AFE kit, go and grab one of them and they're cheap.
Yeah, the Korean bit literally is more to do with the insides of it from a kit point of view. You know, it's to do with electronics and various bits and pieces the aircraft had. It's technically an F5 though. And to be honest with you, I've got right here the said kit, and I've been through it against my F5 up there because I've got the normal AFE F5, and I got this one in a couple of weeks ago to have a look at it, and it is, and I can confirm, it literally is exactly the same kit. But obviously, this one, you only get the Korean decals for it. That's the only option you get. You don't get anything else. So
but there's loads. We looked at aftermarket decals, and there are some really nice ones.
Oh, there are. Yeah, absolutely.
So if anybody is, interested in that.
So yes, so those are in. And to be honest, like we were saying before, they are very, very hard to come by. So sometimes doing a little bit of homework to realise what it is, and for sort of 38 quid, I think it's the best F5 that's out there in 48th. It's really nice, good detail on that one.
Not much to it. And then we've got the AFX Cromwell, which is the thingy one, the little bunker buster one, is it? The howitzer, I don't know what gun it is, but yeah. So if anybody's interested in one of them. And then, like I say, if I get a chance next week, I will update it, but obviously I'm on my own, so we'll see what happens. If not, it'll be week after.
Has this one got 6 wheel nuts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it. It's all subject with me. Move along.
Okay, just saying.
Don't say. Don't pick it up. Andy's taking my kit with him and 3D printing me some new wheels next week.
Can't you just put 3D print him a wheel nut?
2 wheel nuts.
2 wheel nuts. Well, you need 8, wouldn't you? Because you'd have to cut the other
You were going to send me some wheel nuts.
Yeah, we have actually. I've got some wheel nuts I can send you.
Yeah, you got those.
Yep.
Who did they buy?
Anise.
Anise.
Yes.
Yeah. Plugs and things, don't you?
Anise.
So yes. But anyway, all your little specials down there in there as well.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
We've still got the Great Wall Hobbies F15s, and is it just F15s? Probably no. We've not many of them left. So again, if you want one of them, grab them.
Grab them before they get moved back.
They would have gone down this week, but so we've been too busy. So if you want to grab one at a cheaper price, grab one now.
Yeah.
So
that's it for a PM advert.
There you go. That's it. See?
That's it. So anyway,
seamless.
As we spoke about, obviously, failures last week, I've got a new subject for this week. Now, I've just thought of it when Phil was doing his little monologue.
Yes.
Sort of inspiration. So, as in, do you prefer to look at internet or a book?
Ooh.
Now, I'm a book person, as you know. I like books. I do use the internet, but I think a book reference, I'm on about for reference here, a book's better because for one, your screen don't, you keep your page. And I just like that you can keep going back to a book, do you know what I mean? Internet sometimes, unless you mark your pages, which I don't do, it's a bit of a minefield. So, what do you reckon?
I mean, I've got things, for example, the AK Armour. Is it AK?
The FAQ.
FAQ.
The FAQ.
Yeah. I've got on PDF.
Yes.
Which means I can look at it on my phone, my tablet, the computer.
And how many times have you looked at it?
Probably not actually read all of
it. There you go. I mean, the thing is as well, I don't know if it's an age thing as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But I do like...
Try not to sound ageist and all that.
Yeah, that's it. I know. When you just grab that one from this
it's kind of, obviously I do use the computer and the tablet and the phone and everything else. But yeah, Bob's put a thing up here, like the internet, you get more angles and photos than...
Okay, this is one thing I was going to say about that exact question. I think I used, for instance, when I did the Seahawk, so I've got a friend of mine who flies them, which is dead Andy, because I was bugging him and saying, can you get any photos of? And he was like, yeah. But it's like one photo or maybe 2 or 3. The great thing about a book is obviously you start looking at one area when, you're actually into, I don't know, something like wheel wells or something. The nice thing is obviously usually the next page or the next bit on has got other angles of it in different areas. So you wouldn't get that on the internet unless you're going through somebody's walk guide who's got hundreds of photos into it as well. But that's the nice thing about a book. because it sort of naturally leads you on. You haven't got to go off and look for it. So if you're putting in like Google search and you're putting in something like, I don't know, wheels on a Seahawk, you know, naturally it leads on to other areas when you're looking in a book and you've got it all in one place, but then you might have to type in a different one. Also, the trouble with the internet as well is that depending on the wording that the person who uploaded that photo is,
yes,
you might not ever find it. If they haven't put up the word of what actually it is, like an S860B wheel, you know, they've called it something else, like Seahawk wheel, could be any of them, you know, so you're not quite sure, but at least with a book, you've got it all in one place.
And on the internet, you could end up with looking at a dodgy-looking lady called Wheels sitting on a Seahawk.
Absolutely, you know. But I have to say, we spoke about this on the Tuesday show as well, is that books to me are very, very inspirational, because the classic is, as soon as I started going through this one, and during the show, I was like flicking through it and doing the review for it, I could have started on an F16 there and then. Yeah. You know, I'm thinking, right, I'm going to do, you know, a Hellenic F16, fully weathered, everything like at it, because there's loads of great photos in there. And obviously with the decals as well, that's worked as well. But again, the selling point for this one, yes, you got fantastic decal sheet, don't get me wrong, it's great. But actually, a real good selling point is the little booklet that you get with it, with all the references in it to it as well. So not only is it, you know, there, because obviously it works on that book we were looking at, but you don't have to get, oh, that looks nice, I like that marking, I'd like to do that one. So from an inspirational point of view, I think it's absolutely spot on, you know.
So, you know, like going back to, say, air shows and museums and stuff, because obviously me and you went to Yeovilton, didn't we? And you know, we've obviously been to Cosford, and we did React the other year and stuff, and you tend to take a lot of photos, but, generally. But how often have you actually gone back and used anything you've taken yourself personally as a reference?
I look through them occasionally, but for reference, probably not very often.
No, and it's
because I've forgotten I've taken them.
Yeah, because it's not.
I used to
because it's digital. Do you think?
Well, I don't know. When I used to be into photography a long time ago, I used to categorise all my photos properly and use a program to categorise them properly.
Yeah.
I think nowadays, nowadays you just take that many photos and click, and they all get uploaded to the cloud, and straight away you sort of don't really appreciate what you've done with them. And
yeah, because you can take that many as well, it can get lost. But Baxter's just put something up here. Books expensive, internet free. Internet's not free, you got to pay for it. You pay for it one way or another, don't you?
Yeah, you pay for it anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, but you're paying for it. It's not.
And again, you've got that thing. Okay, this is one of my favourite rants, purely because obviously we've got a subscription site, which helps. But if you're not paying for that information, you won't get those photos unless you got some guy going around at an air show. But like, for instance, like the Daco books and all the rest of it are a classic example. There's photos in there that obviously I'm sure people have scanned and stuck up on the internet. But some poor sod had to go around and physically take all these photos and sort them all out and do it. Did he do it for nothing? He's trying to get paid for it, isn't he? And it's his hours of work that have gone into it. So in some ways, it's quite nice to thank that person for all the work that they've put into it. So it is quite nice to have something tangible in your hand. You could go along with everyone and say, I can get everything free, and it's like, but if you want to respect the work that person's put into it and done it for nothing, then you just give him either a bit of a kickback or perhaps a little bit of money towards his book or his equipment that he's used and his traveling and everything else. I think that's a nice thing to do. It's very nice to I always call it be a freeloader, but it's quite nice to be appreciated for all your work you put in, isn't it?
Yeah, but even like they've been on about sort of like paying and stuff on our chat and that. But even so, even if you buy like an ebook, is it? Yeah. You've kind of got to pay for that, haven't you? If you buy like you've got there a proper book, or you're still paying for it. I'm not on about what you find Google searching, say. I'm on about what you technically have to buy. So like an ebook, say, or a proper book. Paper and pictures in it. Because again, I don't know. I think they're nice things to have, but like we were saying, I think last week on the failure bit and stuff, and then before that, like modelling as in how it's moved on because of the internet.
Yeah.
And we have, you know, it's more sociable, shall we say, like, you know, like what we do. I think, again, the internet is another tool you can use, isn't it?
Another thing that comes to mind is just, I was looking for old photos, airshow photos, things on the phone. I thought I'd lost them all. You can't lose your books, can you, really? You can't lose the photos out of your books.
No.
No, if something crashes,
And I honestly just looking at them now, thinking, where's all my photos gone?
Yeah,
Because I've upgraded my phone and whatever, but I don't know. They're in a different thing, but I found them on
fire. So it does, because I think as well. No, like now your new phone, the cameras are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you could go to say Cosford, and take thousands of photos, because you can just click away, can't you? Before you had a film reel and
36 on a roll.
And all that rubbish. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, then the quality, you have to, you know, I mean, shows are age here, but you had to go to a physical shop to get it developed, and it was like, oh well, I've got a picture of my finger, I've got a picture of the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it's out of focus. But I think now in modern, you can take thousands of pictures in an instant, but then you've got to like go through them and categorise. Because I know I did it at Moss, and I took loads when we go to model shows. So I'm quite, you know, and I know Bryn does it for us, doesn't he? He does round when we can get to model shows. He kind of does out when he goes
photography
thing, and he goes through and he puts them all up for us to see. But it can get a bit overwhelming, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Because it's time, isn't it, that then you've got to go through what you've taken to categorise it and find the good ones or what's useful. That's what I'm trying to get at, I think.
Which I bet you most people don't bother.
No, because you just, you know, because I actually went through my cloud sometime last year when we were in lockdown, because it just automatically uploads, doesn't it, when you take a photo, and literally the crap that was on there.
Oh yeah,
of old stuff, you know, pictures of kits that I've taken for either my old site, never mind for this, you know what I mean, for PM. Like, well, they're on there, why do we need pictures of that? And just clearing just a good few hours, just clearing out all the dross, because it was nearly getting full. I know I was hitting my limit, and I think that's why I did it. But yeah, I don't know. Must be for kids now, you know, like take photos of themselves every 2 minutes.
I found on my old phone, I must have had a knack of taking screenshots.
I do that. Yeah.
Because
I've done it.
Screenshots and thinking,
but how do you do it? How do you physically take a screenshot, you know, of your screensaver? Is that what you mean?
Well, you do that obviously with your iPhone, because it's both buttons on each side, and many a time I'll lean over and it goes ka-chink, and you're like, bloody hell, because literally if you pick it up, you press both buttons onto it and it'll take a photo.
I think I've deleted hundreds the other day.
yeah, it is, and just
So,
I don't know. I think it's handy though, like I say, with your phone and how good the cameras are, that you've got it to hand now. You haven't physically got to carry a camera around with you, have you?
No. But as for media, I mean, I'm sort of like mixed. I do like
tech.
I like my weather in magazines.
Yeah, I know what you mean with that. What about sort of research? You know, like Phil's got the F-16 books and his Daco and the other. And
I've got some. I got some of the Daco books, and they are really, really good reference books. Again, all the time, but it's specific to that one subject. Whereas a magazine generally that got maybe 4 or 5 subjects in it. Yeah. And the internet's got every subject you can think of.
Trouble is, we're just going back to it though. That helicopter that I'm building, that 105.
Yes.
I bought a book for the walk around for it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I did look on the internet, and I went on. Not Prime Portal, the other one. One of them had it on. No, I can't think who does the airliners.net, is it?
Yeah.
And they've got a walk around and stuff. But all the pictures I find, they were good pictures, but they weren't what I wanted. Yeah. Does that make sense? So I ended up buying the book and got a lot more off the book, I think, than I would have done off the, because I would have had to physically print the pictures off the internet, I reckon.
Yeah.
So then that's costing ink. Paper.
You never get the same quality of paper,
and it's not going to be the same, is it, when you're printing it yourself? Yeah. So, don't know.
Also, it depends what you're doing as well. If you're doing you just need research on a particular aircraft. So say you're doing the Harrier, this book is almost overkill for it, because you've got hundreds and thousands of photos in here of every single thing that you're probably never going to need or do. but it's quite interesting to go through it and have a look. And I call these sort of like coffee table books. So like the F-16 book, classic example. Other half was working last weekend. I was sat on the sofa, had a pint, and I was flicking through it and just having a go through. And again, it's not like it's got loads of words, so it's not taxing. It's not like you're reading a novel, but just flicking through. And it's that thing of inspiring you, because literally I could have started on an F-16 right there and then, you know. And I've built loads of F-16s over the years, so it's not like I've never done one and excited to do one. But it is that thing, getting back to say about inspiration, of saying, do you know what, that's really nice. I'd like to have a go at something like that, you know, to try and recreate that type of thing. Because obviously when you're dealing with like modelling magazines and weathering magazines, that's somebody else's work. So do you want to copy that work and that technique of weathering, or are you trying to get what that modeller's done and to recreate his work?
But then it's back onto inspiration, though, isn't it? Rather than actually trying to create the same thing. I mean, it's fair. I did the Rinaldi.
You did the little tractor,
and it's not 100% the same, but it's very close.
But I think that's for more learning techniques.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I don't think that's for copying. I think if you put yourself as a modeller, say like the Mike Rinaldi books or the whoever books you want, say the AK books or MIG books or whatever, they're there for people to practice the techniques.
Yeah, and they want to do it.
It's not kind of forgery because they've put it out there and shown you how to do it. So it's not like we're copying a Rembrandt, is it? You know, forging a Rembrandt. It's there for you because I do it with the figure painting books, and you know, I've been following somebody on YouTube at the minute because I've been painting a figure at home, and I followed their technique because I'm not happy with how I was doing it, to be honest. And it was down to me not having enough knowledge of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Full stop. And I needed that guidance. I needed that teaching to be shown how to do it, which I think that's where sort of what you do and YouTube videos is a lot more advantageous to people coming back now than reading a magazine or a book, because you don't get that sort of first-hand view of what's actually happening, do you, in a magazine or a book?
No.
Don't know, just different.
I think it's that thing, isn't it? Is that at the end of the day, people get different things from different areas. So like you were saying about, you know, for me, I don't think I take inspiration on a model per se. It's just it gives me that inspiration to perhaps want to build a particular subject in a particular scheme. Because even though, like we're talking about these, the Hellenic, the Greek F-16s, that weathering they have, that sort of dark, patchy, faded look is great. If I could do it exactly the same as a picture I've got of an aircraft, because you know me, I tend to let the creativity go, and it will turn out how it turns out. So I'm not trying to recreate it exactly the same as, because I'm trying to put my stamp on it, and you know, so it's that point of it. But that's no different than from sometimes I'll watch like a YouTube video on a real subject, nothing to do with modelling, but it'll be about aviation or something, and you know, afterwards you're thinking it'd be nice to do one of them, because perhaps it's telling a story as well. So it was in a particular battle or used for a particular operation, isn't it? And various things do it, which is somewhat what the SIGs and group builds do on the forum as well. It sort of funnels you into an area, you know, and sometimes you draw inspiration, like Matt with his Lancaster there. Obviously, he's doing the front end for the Anzac one, you know, and doing it that way as well. So you're sort of focused into that type of thing, into an area. So again, I think that's what it's doing. It's just inspiring you into a particular aircraft or a genre or a weathering type, but it's still drawing you in down the rabbit hole, isn't it?
I also take inspiration from, I mean, looking on the forum, you see other people's work. You think, oh, that's fantastic. I'd love to build one of them.
I think that's it. It's not how they built it, it's probably the subject. And sometimes, I know what you mean by that. Yeah, you do see it, and that just sparks a bit of imagination.
Hence why I've got such a big stash.
Yeah, pretty much. But again, you know, going back to the techniques thing, to me, that's like learning the basics of modelling.
Yeah.
Because until you're confident with doing a certain technique, whether it's up doing with oils or enamels or yaw wash or whichever way you're going down the weathering route, I I think you've got to learn how to do it, if you know what I mean. You've got to learn the basics of how these products work, and then you kind of you're opening yourself up once you've kind of got the grasp of it, which is what I'm saying about this thing, what I'm doing with this figure at the minute. The different approach I'm taking, because I'm just using acrylics, I'm not using oils. I find oils, when I did that Richtofen figure, was easier to blend, and where obviously acrylics is a lot more, you know, I was on about filters and glazes and washers and all that last night. Well, that's where the acrylic side of painting, especially on figures, really comes in, because acrylics don't blend, they dry that fast. You have to manipulate them with glazes and filters and to change hues and all that. Like, it's very, it's more technical. Exactly, it's a bit technical, but it's very technical.
Yes.
But I mean, I painted this figure. I ain't got it. I was going to bring her and I forgot, but it was the one that was sat here last week, and I've literally painted her face now 4 times because it's not where I want it to be, or for whatever reason. But there is a thing of this as well. Now you start wearing an Optivisor, and you wear an Optivisor, and I do. What you see through your Optivisor to what you actually see when you're not seeing it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the problem I'm having, is separating, because I've got the Optivisor on to do the detail, it looks crap.
Yeah.
When it's magnified up. And I've got to keep remembering to flip it up and just put it at a proper length, because it's a different point of view.
Yeah.
And I think that can just throw you as well, because you're so macroed in through your Optivisor of all the little bits.
Yeah.
I think also that comes back to that thing about us being our own worst critics. Going back to last week, but a lot of that is also, don't forget, is that when we're dealing with the object, we see it from this far away through an Optivisor. Anybody else looking at your model is going to see it from 2-3 feet away at best. There's very few people will be going along scrutinising your model like this, you know, unless you are in a show. You know, that they'll never see it. I mean, as said, from 3 feet away, you know, we always do the joke about, it's perfect from 6 foot. 3 foot, there's a few issues. Optivisor, it's a nightmare.
It's like this thing that Matt built. When I was editing it on a 27-inch monitor, full screen, the top of the cab where the yellow and blue demarcation line was, I said to him after it, I says,
I see that. I know what.
That looks terrible.
I know. Yeah, it did.
But in real life, you can't see it.
And again, we can show this fact. So we're going to pull apart your work now, Matt. Sorry.
All right. Knock yourselves out.
If I bring up that photo that I think I used for, which one is it? If we just go back, it's in Wednesday's one, isn't it? PM show. This is a classic example, because when you see this is so much bigger than real life. And again, I've got a 27-inch monitor in front of me. I'm looking at it on now. You can actually see the tear line from the masking tape down the side of the fuel tank. But I bet you can't see that in real life, you know? So if you were to be bluntly horrible, but, you know, and obviously this is a photo, but if you do...
Zoom it in.
Zoom it in, you know? It is that thing where you can literally see it. But the reality is, from... you know, anybody looking at it normally, because that's now probably zoomed in 200 times magnification to what it normally is, you know. So definitely, I think it's one of those areas where, you know, the real reality is you'll be looking at a model or whatever you're doing from probably 2 feet away. And it'll look absolutely fantastic and it's brilliant. But as I say, with Optivisors and stuff like that, you are your own worst critic, because you're sat there looking at it. You've got it right in front of you. That nobody else will ever see it that bad, you know?
Yeah, it's it. I mean, I've got to wear one. I don't think I could literally do it without anymore, to be honest, wearing an Optivisor.
I couldn't.
But it does throw you out. It does throw me, especially with what I've been doing anyway, like I say, with this painting of figures and stuff, because they just look rubbish. They do look rubbish under it. But, you know.
But yeah, I think that is the thing, though, is like, you know, the Optivisor I've been using 100% now at everything I do. My eyes have gone that far now where I don't think I could do it without it. It's bad enough trying to read instructions without them. I'm like, hold on, I need good light. Or is it just because my eyes can't read it? But and it does. It brings a whole new world to it. And obviously with the monitors as well, because of the overhead camera, if I'm in the close-up one, it works just like an Optivisor. And many a time I'll look at the screen because it's bigger and better than I can see with my own eyes. So yeah, definitely, it's one of those ones where it's a nice thing.
Welcome to the club.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing, like Peter's put on there. He says, I'm guilty of zooming in too on videos and still pics. But why would you need to? Why would you really need to zoom right in? Are you looking for faults? Oh, he's missed that bit there. Have you noticed there's a tiny little bit there and he's got some dodgy thing, isn't it? Why would you need to go right in? Because technically, it's like we discussed the other day, wasn't it? Oil paintings look crap from close up because they're all just lumps and bumps and swipes and that. And then you stand back, you know, and in art galleries, isn't it? That's why I say if you want to appreciate it, so you have to stand over there. And you're like, right, now I can see it. That's it. So, but I think that's the thing as well, is that, you know, as we've always said, the hobby is a form of art form. I still maintain that, so I'm blue in the face. And it should be appreciated of how it is as well, you know. So if you see things, and like we've often said, if you look at Star Wars props, if you've ever been lucky enough to get right up to them, they are awful. Absolutely awful. They're some of the worst models you'll ever see because they're not designed to be there. They're designed to be highly lit studios from a long way away, so the colours are off and everything else, you know. So definitely, you've got glue marks on them. There's fingerprints on them, and it's like I've often said, "God, look at the state of that. That's got this, that, and the other." And it's like you don't get it. It's not designed for that. It's designed for a 35mm film from the 70s that shot it from 4 foot away. It didn't matter. You couldn't see it. It's not an HD back then.
I think they had the same problem with CGI.
But do you remember when 4K came out and like HD, and everybody started going off getting Botox because of the cracks? So everybody on telly, wouldn't it? Said, "Oh, I'm going to have to do something now because now you can see all the lines and stuff." That's a similar situation to it, isn't it? You know? Yeah,
I think that's the thing with the technology thing because of our, like say, with your phone, isn't it? You've got 4 cameras in one, ain't you, on your phone now? Is it?
Yeah.
Literally. Because you were prating about with it last week when you got it in here, and it was like it was showing me, and it was close in, and what was it, panoramic or something? I don't know. You could do all sorts with it, can't you? All in one sort of flick of a button.
Yeah, it's from wide angle to 100mm.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. It's really good. Because they know how good do you think your phone would be for actually doing videos with? You know, like obviously Nathan uses his iPhone, doesn't he, on the stand? Yeah. And because like Andy's, what is it? Samsung what?
S21 Ultra.
S21 Ultra, and it's got 4 different things, and you can flick. You could flick like you flick your cameras. Yeah. I think you said you could actually flick off.
Oh yeah, you can do. It's called director mode.
Yeah.
And so you got it shows you on one side all the different cameras. So you can just like click on them and it flicks between them as it's recording. Yeah.
You could do it on a phone.
Yeah, that's it. You probably could now, like we've often said, isn't it? Like in here, we've had this conversation before, but I've got tens of thousands of pounds worth of equipment in here, and cameras and audio and computers and all the rest of it set up. Theoretically, nowadays, you could probably do it on your phone.
Saying that, I did take some video of Matt's truck right at the end. When I was editing it all and put it into edit, I ain't got a clue what I shot it in, but it was terrible.
The other trouble that you get as well, it's all very well. The trouble you have in, like, I shoot everything in 4K. We don't stream it in 4K because streaming 4K for a lot of people is a nightmare. But the file sizes are massive, absolutely huge. So I remember the good old days where you'd have like a 16 meg memory card, and that'd be good for a day's filming. All of these got 128 meg cards in. So literally, you know, you've got 4 cameras rolling, and I will take all the cards off, go upstairs, bang them all in the computer and wait for them to all offload. And, you know, technically I was looking today at 10 terabyte hard drives because they're getting huge. So one video build now from a point of view of size wise is roughly getting near a terabyte, you know, of data. So it's a huge data sizes. And then again, you've got the trouble in editing. If you're bringing in 4 streams, 2 audio streams as well, that's a lot of crunching for it to do, just as you're editing it and cutting it up and all the bits and pieces, let alone rendering. So, and that's the problem you get, is that although technology is great, it's moving on, it's nice and clear and everything else, it comes at a massive cost through the other end, you know, rendering and streaming and stuff like that. But yes. Happy days. It's all right. It will all be holograms one day.
Yeah, probably will. Yeah, won't it? Yeah, literally.
You know,
And
I
with-
played with an idea years ago of having like the 3D60 cameras. I bought
Yeah.
one and I had it here. I had a 3D60 camera, so you could watch on YouTube and scroll round and look round and all the rest of
Right.
it. But it just wasn't sharp enough. You couldn't see anything. Yeah, the whole point was it was supposed to be an interactive feature we were going to have on the site where you've got 3D camera. So if you didn't want to watch me, you could go off and look at other things, you know, or you could zoom into different areas. But unfortunately, they don't do like a 4K version of it, or didn't back then. So it wasn't good enough to be able to sort of look and to zoom in. But the whole point was you had the interactivity of being able to move around. So I could sit it over there, for instance, so it'd be looking like you're opposite me, but you could zoom right in. And if I work over here, you could follow you around with the camera. That was the idea. The idea is brilliant, but the reality is it wasn't clear enough. You just couldn't see anything. It was just like going back to old school. You know, it's like old jumper time in hands. So,
but is that then, and because technology moves that fast, so would you be able to do it now, do you reckon?
I don't know. I haven't tried. I tried it before, to be honest, and I can't remember what it was now. It was a Samsung 360 camera. We tried it, and I had it for a week, and it wouldn't work, so I sent it back and got a refund on it. But, you know, it was just one of those things, trial and error. As I say, it might be better now, but at the time, because I had a few people, they were talking to me saying we could get like 4 GoPros, and then you can get them all recording, and then in software afterwards stitch it all together to give a 360 panoramic. And it was like, but the thing is, you still had, for that viewer point, like we do with overheads and side angles coming in, it's not good enough quality to be able to see what you're doing. It's still a little bit grainy and a bit iffy, you know. So yeah, so you get a little walleye. The other one is obviously in VR. You know, you can get VR. With this one above here, one of them, you can get a VR lens for it, so it's 2 lenses, so technically you could look at it and get the depth perception off the video, but again, it's playing with technologies which aren't quite there yet. It's not good enough to be streamable and all the things that go with it. It's stuff that might come along in the future, but at the moment I just don't think we're there, not unless you're going to pay horrendous amounts of money for it, you know.
Yeah,
so
interesting though, isn't it, how it's moving. I've just got a question from Soren on our thing. You know about that film we were on about, Another Round, last week? You know, the middle-aged men drinking.
yes.
It apparently won an Oscar.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So, and am I still interested in watching? Yeah, I'm going to find it. I'm going to watch it.
I'd like to watch it.
I can't remember if it's on Netflix or Amazon. It's on one of them. I'm sure it's on one of the streaming services. I think. I don't know. I'm going to look. But yes, I am going to watch it. I'm going to find time and find it and watch it. I think it'd be quite interesting.
See, the guys are saying in here in chat, and I somewhat agree as well, is that it's expensive when you pay, I don't know, whatever for a book for one model, you know. But again, I think if you're into a particular genre of, like, perhaps you're into like World War II, so it's quite nice to have a Spitfire because also you're learning about it. And somebody else made a comment, I was watching, honest, and they were saying about the great thing about a book is that you get to understand what certain parts are and the correct terminology for it. So unless it's like Tamiya aren't too bad, because Tamiya instructions actually say, you know, the parts, what they actually are, like rudder pedal. But you know what I mean? They actually do, like car parts I'm crap on, you know, and so, but luckily if you ever go through Tamiya instructions, it normally lists the components of what they actually are, but not many model companies do that. So sometimes there you are building bits and you're sticking them in, got no idea what their name is, but if you've got a book and you're looking at a reference and it has got some terminology with it, it explains all what it is and how it works, you know, so that's quite nice. And I think it gets back to that thing as well. If you're doing like a tank with full interior, if you get a full walk around tank book to go with that, that's quite, you know, part of the build process is learning about what you're doing as well. It depends. If you're just a modeler and you put kits together, then that's fine. But if you're a bit more of a like amateur historian, or, you know, you're into that particular genre, to learn about the mechanics of it and what it is and how it works as well, I think, you know, having a book to go along with your build is just part of it. So you're learning about a particular subject. So say you're doing a King Tiger, I didn't have a clue what most of it was inside it, you know. I didn't realize actually it's technically a Tesla, you know, with electric motors and things like that. You know, but again, you learn all of these things and the various things and the drives and all of those types of things. But again, I wouldn't know anything about it, but it's good to have something like that.
I think Go on.
I'm about to say, like the way you say you don't know what half the parts of a car are.
I don't.
That's only because he's got a car that's got half the bits missing. There's no handbrake, there's no gear stick, there's no clutch pedal.
No.
He's
It's just got two pedals at the bottom. I've got flappy ones behind the steering wheel, and that's it.
Handbrake.
So, but yeah, I find it quite part of it. As I say, modelling is just one of those things where you have to put it together. But if you were talking about like a percentage, I would say the modelling part of it is probably like perhaps 30 or 40%. The rest of it is learning about it, the items, especially if you're going down aftermarket routes and you're putting engines in and cockpits in and stuff like that. You might as well get some references to go along with it to give it a nice job and to understand it as well. And if you're into that thing, like we were saying before, like Tamiya kits, technically, I don't think any of them really need a lot of aftermarket in them. But if you wanted to add your own wiring and your own power, your own hydraulic lines, your own fuel lines, to add that level of detail, you're going to need references to be able to do that. So, that's quite nice as well.
Just going back to what Matt was saying about his helicopter, I mean, you found the scheme originally on the internet.
It was in the box, to be honest.
Oh, was it? Oh, right.
Yeah, no, the decals came because it was originally going to be that Hornet one, wasn't it? And I've binned that off because I don't trust the decals to conform because they're big decals. Yeah. So I've gone back to a standard, just black and green line helicopter, basically. But the actual book that I got on that helicopter has actually got the Hornet one in it, and then a few of the other special ones where they've done tiger schemes and stuff. But actually, there's a good walk around of the interior and stuff, which I didn't. When I built it, it was for the Luftwaffe SIG.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to town with actually doing much with the interior because, bearing in mind, like I said, the kit's from the 80s. It's early 80s Revell kit, so it's very basic. I mean, I nicked some seatbelts out of a Lynx, I think, 30-second Lynx, because it's got nothing. But I think now I've got that book, I would probably tackle it again with a bit more emphasis on detailing it, because it's a big bubble in it at the end of the day.
It is. Yeah.
You can see a lot in it. So I think it could do with the detail if it's wiring or different bits and bobs to spruce up the interior. Because to be honest, the doors don't fit great, so you could probably be better off having the doors open. So then that means you're going to see more inside of it and stuff. But actually, I thought it was an interesting book, to be honest.
But I think generally it doesn't matter. I mean, as long as the more information you can get, the better, isn't it? So wherever the information is coming from, it's all inspiration and information.
I technically used it because old Revell instructions for painting are awful. And bearing in mind as well, it had all the special scheme on it, so I needed something to do a standard one without all the fancy bits on it. So the book came in useful for actually, because it did have both sides of the helicopter, so I could do the camo scheme as in how it would be.
The black and white ones, and they've got like dots for shaded for one colour.
The old school instructions.
Let's go to slagging Revell off again, but I don't know how they expected you to work out, and then trying to work out the decals placement on top of all your dots and lines and stuff that they've done. It was they weren't great, were they? Not good at all. Russell put a thing up: best 70-second Red Arrows Hawk, Airfix or Revell. I've never seen the Revell one. I don't think it's a bad kit, to be honest, but I don't know if somebody in chat might have built it.
Airfix isn't bad though, is it? So...
I built quite a few Airfix ones, remember? Never got used.
3 sets, didn't it?
9 of them, didn't you?
I did 9 Hawks, yes.
You did 9, you did, yeah.
So, but I use the Airfix ones, don't know. They were right, to be honest. I can't fault them. Very nice.
I don't know what's... if there's a lot of difference between them. To be honest, what you're going to get. So I don't know. And the Italy F35 new tooled one, any idea when it's coming? No, this is Italy we're talking about. This. Yeah. I don't know. It's penciled for this year, but you never know.
Still waiting for stuff from 2 years ago, aren't we? So.
Yeah. Look how long it took the Tornado.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for their 48 scale Navy Merlin.
Just going back.
That was in their catalogue.
Somebody asked about an Italy Wessex. No chance.
No, I don't think so.
They're well out of production. They're fetching as well second hand.
A half-built one that was sat behind me.
That you fell out with. Again, it's a shame because it's actually not a bad kit. It's not an awful kit, and you know, like the Fly 30-second one you built, and the little Italeri 70-second ones as well, which I have built a couple of, and the 48th one which I've built.
Yeah,
they're all right kits, and they're the only ones.
That the 30-second fly one I did, is that kit available?
Yeah, but we can't
Because
get
somebody
it.
asked me the other day about it.
Yeah, you can get. Yeah, they are available.
I did
The other
think
one,
they
remember
were.
the yellow one that they
Yeah.
were going to do? The yellow, that's never seen the light of
No.
day. I never know what happened to that one.
No.
But yeah.
See, if I was going to do a Wessex, I'd do the non-Wessex one that you did with it, where you can open the engine up at the front.
Oh, the US version with the normal.
What's that? The H34, isn't it?
Gallery models one.
Yeah, gallery models one. Yeah.
What is it? 34, H34, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a cracking kit. That is absolutely.
I'd do that rather than
cracking.
doing the. I know it's not a Wessex,
but it's what a Wessex was based on. Yeah, that's a cracking kit. I did enjoy that kit because you get a full engine, so you can open the front and show the engine and cockpit and cabin. Just need seat belts. Good kit. Nice version of it as well. So, you don't like helicopters?
I know.
What are you on about? Don't build helicopters.
I like helicopters. I'm waiting for the Cobra to come out.
Got too many wings on them.
I want the ICM Cobra. When's that out?
Next month or this month. It's soon.
Great, that helicopter. It fits really well on a shelf.
Well, yeah, because it's a bit slinky, isn't it?
It's very slinky. And
only 2 blades, so it's.
Yeah, I do fancy doing the. Is it the Super Cobra? The
Academy one.
The Academy one. I do fancy doing that.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. Very good. Anybody got any questions? Shout out now.
Yeah, because Carl's just putting up. Will you be getting the re-release of the Airfix 1144 Concorde as it's just been released apparently? What, that really old one? Which is the prototype with the BOAC decals. Is that the one you mean, Carl? We can get you one if you want.
Or we could send you a white desk because it looks about the same.
Yeah.
Soko Mike says, by the way of Phil, speaking of references, when you were working on the Seahawk, the reason the engine didn't look anything like the kit was because your reference showed the opposite side.
No. Did it?
Well, no, references for both sides.
Oh, right, I don't know.
So, pass. Don't know.
No, don't know with that.
Pass. Don't know.
It's like a library, look.
I
put these back in stock soon.
Even though I say I don't use books, I've got a rather large book collection and magazine collection. So, yeah, with nowhere to put it.
Is there a conversion for the Academy AH1Z so the blades can be folded? I've got no idea. I don't know who do it either. Did Whirlybirds used to do stuff like that? Did they do conversions?
I thought the Academy ones did fold anyway on the Z. I thought they came off the kit.
Definitely seen them built folded.
Because they have a funny fold system. It's like the rotor head is fixed. It's not like normally where it joins. It's further out. Then they fold in, isn't it? One forward, one back, and they go in. I'm pretty sure. I thought that was in the kit.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know, to be honest. You've reviewed that kit, haven't you?
Yes, I think so. Back in the day, yeah. I'm sure that has got a wing fold already in the kit. I don't think it's an optional extra. I think it's part of it. Because, obviously normal Cobra just has 2 blades. Obviously, the Z's got 4, but it sort of has it where it sort of kinks like dog legs back each side. So half of it goes forward, half of it goes back.
We need to get some more in. Sold the last one last week, didn't we?
No, I thought there was one on the shelf. I think there's one left.
Is there?
So, just going back to Carl and his Concorde, would you like us to get you one in, Carl, if you just want to put up in chat? And we'll get you one in if you want one. Because he's got an original one, but he don't want to build it.
All right.
An original. See. Apparently you need brackets for it, Phil.
Oh, do you?
Probably for the rotor fold to keep it in place. Carl wants one. Make a note of that, even though you're on holiday from half an hour.
Yes, I must
Yes,
admit,
it,
I'm
yeah,
not.
it is for the Cobra thing. You need brackets.
Oh,
That's
so
weird.
Mike's doing the Ocean Hawk, which has got differences, which have caught him by surprise. Oh, right, I don't know, Mike. I don't know that particular one. That's the F, isn't it?
Yeah. When's the Wildcat coming out, Phil? Yeah,
Pass.
You'd have thought Airfix would have.
It's in service, so they don't do stuff in service.
No.
Yeah, but Lynx was in service when they did that, didn't they? So.
Only just.
Ooh,
It was on its way out, wasn't it?
I say, but it clinging on by its fingernails.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but somebody got his name on the side of it while he was still flying them. So.
True. Are they all retired now?
Yeah.
They're just Wildcats now, then, which are technically not really a Lynx anymore, are they? But
No, that's it.
no, they're completely different helicopter, I know, but you know what I mean.
It
So
still
there's no
looks-
other Lynxes.
I don't think there's any. Well, not in the. Well, maybe training type ones around, but not operationally.
Can't we buy one for the shop?
There was one for sale. I knew where there was actually one for sale, and you could have had that.
Why
Really
didn't you
nice
buy it?
one. I had a friend of mine actually was itching to do it, and they sold it just before. But it was literally down the road from some friends of mine at a company, and they had it
Really?
up for sale. Yeah. So if you'd had a spare £26,000, you could have had it. It was a nice one as well. It was complete. So it wasn't one of these shell ones which had been stripped out. This thing was fully
Was it
all there.
complete?
It was complete, yeah.
Engine and lot?
No engines, obviously, but the rest of it was all there. All the interior, all the good dials, the gauges and everything. It was a real nice one.
You get one for shutters, wouldn't you?
You probably would. But
Could
I
we
don't
get it in
know.
there if we folded it up, shift all the stock out, wheel it in?
Yeah.
Just about get it in there.
Just wheel it in and out every day.
We'll get it in the car park.
Yeah, we're going to complain about parking.
Yeah, nowhere to literally put it, but it would look good. It'd be top truck next door with their fancy Ferraris and stuff, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And the Astons they have in.
Yes.
Look what we've got. Roll out the helicopter.
Yeah, stop that up in the car park.
Does anybody make World War One aircraft colours?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
AK real colour.
Do they?
Some of those new ones are World War One.
Are they? Are you sure?
I don't know.
Tanks.
MRP do.
MRP do, and I think do Ammo
I'm
do. So.
backpedaling a bit now.
I don't think they do now. You said that. We'll get a colour sheet. And have a look. The trouble is with World War One colours is they don't know what they were.
Yeah.
There's no like sort of definitive reference to say it's
No.
this colour or that colour, and that's the problem why they don't get touched. It's guesswork, isn't it?
Thing you do. Who did you do your Hind in, Phil?
My what?
Hind.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh God. Akan.
Akan. They
Akan.
do World War One colours because I've got most of them.
What? British and German or
If I do British.
browny green?
Yeah.
Khaki.
Yeah. Green D1 or something, whatever it's called. Oh!
Where are you going?
Colour chart.
Oh, we'll have to get a colour chart.
I've got one here as well. So I'm just looking at the real colour ones.
The real colour one there, if that's what you want. Have you got one there?
Yeah.
Too far for me to walk across
It is.
Thing is, it doesn't say like World War One. It just says they're German.
What's up with chat?
Wait, did you want German or did you want British?
No, German.
Oh.
What, like lozenge and
1938. They don't have dates on them. How do I know? Do they have special numbers?
Roger, your order's been sent. It's gone out today.
Look, they do RLM version 1, 2, and 3. I don't know if these are actually World War One colours because it's not saying, but they do have a quite extensive. Have a look on the site because that will take you through them. I do know what I like about their little chart is the way that it has the little what they are. So you got like Union Jacks for the British, German. So at a glance, you can sort of see whose is whose. So
I might need to cross-reference that because when I did the website,
Yeah.
I obviously didn't have that, and I was looking on the bottles on their site to see if I could see the badges on the side.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. Oh, hold on. What's that? Get rid of that. What else have we got here? I did have photos from the guy who worked for the real thing, and also I've got a friend of mine who flies them. As he says, he doesn't really get his hands dirty. He's got a crew chief for that, but that was some other ones as well we used for those. There is reference photos. If you go over to the Seahawk build, they're free to view. You can go and see them in there. Gordon says, which paints do you use if you need to do dry brushing or something? I use Humbrol for dry brushing, but all seem to loathe them. Well, we don't loathe them. It's strong.
No, I don't loathe them.
We like Humbrol. They'll be great when everything else dries up.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah. When we could use nothing else, Humbrol will be making a comeback.
They will. All those old ones from the 70s will still be working.
Best paints I've found, which again is very Humbrol related, are oil paints. They are just brilliant for dry brushing because they go on and on.
I think I said that. If you go and have a look at my Millennium Falcon, the big one I did, like I said, the great thing with oil paints is dry brushing. I think I used it once and did the entire model.
Yeah.
You know, and it builds up nice and steadily.
Yes.
It's a gradual build up. Instead of it like being that thing where you do the first bit and then it fades off to nothing, it just keeps giving and giving, and you can build up really slowly. So I must admit, I like using oils. So if you have got oils, that's the way to go, which is probably why enamels probably work quite well because they're very oily.
Yeah, they do.
It depends on what colours you're going for, though, doesn't it? I mean, I've still got tons of Model Air
Right.
that I'll never use again, and if it's the right colour, I'll use it for.
We're going to auction them off.
Dry brushings.
But
Probably not a bad idea, actually.
yeah, a load of Model A's part U's coming to an auction soon. It's going to be like a paint auction.
Yes.
But yeah, like going back to Humbrols are brilliant for dry brushing because they are like an oil-based enamel. Again, they are good. They are good for it.
Are they 7? So that's 70. That's the white tops, then, isn't it? Is it?
No, that's the air one, isn't it? I don't know. World War I German camo, 16 colour acrylic paint set. There you go.
Is that aircraft or is it armour?
I don't know. I have actually got an AK French World War I armour set, which is where they're bright coloured camos and stuff on the tanks, the FT-17s and stuff. Again, like I say, I think it's going back to the actual reference of it because our paint companies just get hammered for shades of paint being off, or they never, World War I stuff is like over 100 years old and there's no real reference for it, is there? Because they were just painted and chucked out there to do what they needed to do. So
I think somebody put it very nicely the other day when they were talking about how that the real colours, apparently they'd used a lot of inside of boxes that had the original colour. So obviously the outsides were kicked in and that, but they would do the inside for the colour things. And then somebody pointed out, but that depends if that was the right colour.
Yeah.
Because being wartime, like we've spoken about before, it might have not been the perfect colour for it. It might have been an off shot or a shade of it, because there is so many different variations on colour. It's very, very difficult to be that precise with it. But I think once you add in scale effect, like we said before, as long as you're in the ballpark, it's going to be perfectly acceptable, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so. It's just, I think like going back to the when you built the Sopwiths, and even like we've said it before, but the wings couldn't even get a definitive colour.
No, yeah,
there could be this or it could be
this.
When
it was on my one. It was like question mark. Not sure.
Well, that just tells you then that because they did their research, didn't they? Let's be honest, they knew their product.
Yeah.
So if they don't know what colour it's going to be, after must be, the research they put into it, then you're not going to really know, are you? You're just guessing.
Russell says that they are model colour. Russell says that they're World War I aircraft, but you can understand how you can get confused about what they're for. And that's the box.
Why has it got figures on it? What? That says World War II German camouflage set under.
Yeah.
He's on about World War One.
Oh, it does say yes, it's World War Two.
He's on that their model colour as well.
But that's the number he put in there.
Oh, right.
7114.
Greg points out a good point. He says, weren't they all black and white? Greg, that's wrong. They were all sepia.
yeah.
I did as part of a build a few years ago now, but I did a World War One plane that Nathan gave me, a little Newport in 72nd, and I did it in shades of sepia. Because I said, I don't know what colour it is, so I did it in literally just all the camos. So it looks like it's a black and white photo, but it's not. That's the one I did it in. So we went for a sepia effect. Question, when do you build and end up with extra weapons? Do you build them and put them in your spares box, or do you leave them on the sprue? I leave them on the sprue. I don't build them if I'm not using that particular weapons fit. But some of them, to be honest, I've got so many of them nowadays, I tend to throw them. If it's generic stuff, you know.
I've used sometimes when I'm building a model, and I might glue, say, the large fuel tanks together, just to practice on the colour that I want. Yes, if it's something different, like a tornado in Gulf War pink. Spray that first to see, to make sure it's the right colour. Or if it's something like PRU blue or something that I've not sprayed before, I might spray something in that just to see if it's the right colour. But generally I just
recycling.
Leave on spray in the recycling.
Straight in the recycling bin.
Yeah. Mind you, Kieran says quite rightly here, World War One, Sea Revel mixed 6 different colours to get the right shade. Can you imagine them in their colour charts?
That'd be Tammy though, wouldn't it? They did World War One. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Blind.
I don't know. Thought Hataka did a World War One set, do they?
No. Not what I know of.
Not that I know of, no.
No, we don't. We've never stocked it, and it's not quite one been released. No, Tucker ain't gone near it. I don't think.
So who's picked to Winter Wings quote?
They don't.
Don't they?
No. Because they don't know.
So how do they quote the number?
Hold on. Let me just have a look at that Panzer wagon. See what they convert into. See what they call out for colours.
Oh. Can't show that on camera. It will cause a frenzy.
Oh no, they just play clever and actually just say aluminium, copper, sand, grey, green. They don't say what green it is. They just literally have put it down as that.
Is that Winged Wings or is that Copper State?
Copper State.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Winged Wings always just put a question mark next to them, don't they?
Disclaimer. This is a proper disclaimer. Yeah.
That's French, that doesn't count. So, Vallejo set 70114, German World War One camouflage, 16 colour acrylic set.
It says World War II on the actual.
Oh right, it says Russell says World War One as well. 30 quid.
You say that is the German camouflage set, isn't it? Mind you, it says model A, doesn't it? Is it?
Yeah. World War II.
Yeah, it is, Russell. That's the World War II German camouflage set. Good old Terry Thomas. I've got him as a screensaver on my computer. Ding dong. He's mega.
That's the same one. It says World War One.
Oh right, okay.
Oh well. Apparently, AK Air Series World War One aircraft set.
Yeah, just looking at.
That's the Air Series, isn't it? That's their acrylics, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the real colour.
Not the real colour. Yeah, that's what I'm getting confused with now. God, it gets confusing.
Exactly. Ammo Mig do apparently World War One colours as well. Again, it's a bit of a minefield, isn't it?
Yes.
We're going down the RLMO2 route here.
Oh dear.
God.
And we don't want to do that on a Friday afternoon.
Sea Fury wheel wells again. It's going to come back.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. Do want
I
that.
still didn't find out, even though there's one upside down on it.
No answer to it, is there?
No.
There's no definitive answer.
There was no that's what we agreed, wasn't it? That's the line we're going to tell. We spoke together as a group off air. Right, we're just going to say there's no answer.
Again.
That was probably one of the weirdest ones we were building at, and everyone's like, "I've got a photo of," and then everyone was sending photos, and they were all different. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So that just tells you it doesn't matter, does it?
No.
Unless you've really got your.
They were saying you're wrong. Here's a photo of it, and it's like, yeah, join the pile of all the other colours.
Didn't me and you actually look when we were at Yeovil?
Yeah, we crawled underneath it at Yeovilton, wouldn't it? Literally got underneath the aircraft and went up inside the wheel well. The one that got in there just to get it. I got photos underneath of it.
Can you remember what it was?
Yeah, it was that yellowy colour.
Yeah.
So like zinc chromate.
Yeah, it's not quite zinc chromate. It's what we were saying. We think they oil them up underneath there. That was the thing. I think that's what we agreed was. They put this spray like duck oiled and.
Yeah, it's like a wax oil.
It's got
it's like a wax oil underneath it, and we're saying that's why they're all different colours.
Yeah, we've got to let him have some time off to recoup his recharge his batteries. He'll be bored next week, sorry, he'll be on.
Yeah, he'll be on, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
he'll be coming into work. Please, can I come? No, you're not allowed, get out. He'll be at the door.
Not are we, Phil? He's going to have to sit and watch. He's on holiday, he can't come on.
Yeah, we'll be seen as bad bosses if he's on.
I know. Yeah, we'll be getting flack for it because you're supposed to be on holiday. No,
I think some of that somewhere, David.
It's acrylic.
I'm talking about Vallejo being acrylic.
You're right, Neil. I'm doing the Nakajima Zero. No one ever does that version, so I can paint it pink.
Yeah. It's got
That's why I've decided
license.
to do the Nakajima one, because everybody does all the other versions, but nobody ever does the Nakajima Zero. So I could paint it zinc, whatever, chromate inside with pink spots.
Yeah. So, Duxford Flying Days, is that on, is it?
Got his tickets.
Roger's got his tickets.
Mm.
All right.
Just in time for lockdown 27.
Yeah. What date's that then? It'll be later on in the summer, won't it?
I'll still be wary of
Yeah, but you're outside, aren't you?
Yeah, well, that's why I've got tickets for Formula One this year.
Have you?
At Silverstone, yeah, because they've rolled over from last year, and it's all on apparently. So, but you say it's all outside anyway.
May the 22nd, limited tickets. God, that's not long far away then, is
I was
it?
going to say that's proper close. Are they? Yeah, well, I suppose
Yeah,
it's outdoors.
How limited are the tickets? 5 people.
So my mum and dad normally go to Duxford, but
All right.
well, they're not going to go this year. In fact, I was going to go with them last year,
Yeah, you were.
but
Yeah.
it never happened.
Yeah. Well, it's good it's on though, isn't it?
Yeah.
People are actually allowed to go. Oh, ooh.
Andy, what are you using to glue the Rado canopy together? I'm not.
You're not?
No,
Why?
because I bought the HPH resin one.
He's got a resin one. You did. What would you use if you'd used the kit one?
Crystal clear roller. The problem is with the Revel one is even when you glue it together, there's tabs to locate it, and no matter what you do, you can still see them tabs.
Right, I'm with you.
It's a bit
Can't
of
you
a-
get rid of the tabs? Can't you chop them off? Or
Yeah.
You know what? It needs a tarp.
top?
Top of that.
Yeah. Just put it in the hanger
Dark. Turn the lights off.
Yeah. and shut the door. Yeah.
So now I've used the.
Hey, don't give him ideas for his final reveal, Sigs, for this bloody seasick thing.
Yeah, C60. He's going to put the prop on it and have it in a hanger, just the front poking out. There you go.
Proper Photoshop.
Finished on time.
That depends what the prop looks like.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, it's proper below deck, this one.
It's a weird thing because, like, on the swastika goes on the rudder.
All right, it's unusual. Yeah.
Does not look right at all.
But that's how it was.
I've even shown you shown my photos.
Yeah.
Why did they do that then? So is there nothing on the tail? They just put it on the rudder instead.
Yeah, it's put on the rudder. Yeah, I think because it's a massive rudder compared to the tail.
Yeah.
So there's probably more room on the rudder than there is on the tail to put it, but it just looks
just wrong.
Yeah.
Dave says we use PX24 to protect for corrosion, so I reckon that's what's in the wheel wells. There you go, probably what it is. I think it is some type of protective oil, isn't it? Stop water getting in there.
Hey, the same because lightning's got that same colour, don't they, in the wheel wells?
Maybe it could be the same thing.
Hey, that's leaking fluids.
That means it's okay. As long as it's leaking, it's all right. It's when it dries out you got to worry.
That's failed gaskets.
Nose down in the water due to catapult failure. The catapult never got built.
Yeah, it's definitely got catapult failure.
Yeah, it's still in the box.
Yeah.
It is. I put it back. I put it away in the in the cupboard.
Do you have a link for the canopy? It's just HPH, isn't it?
Yeah, if you go on to Hannon's, it's available. If you just search for HPH on Hannon's,
they're in there.
They're in there, and you'll find them. They do quite because HPH bought out their own Arado in 32nd, literally at the same time as Revel bought theirs out. HPH ditched theirs, but all their parts are still available. For example, the engine, which I bought and didn't use.
Yeah.
The canopy, they do the floats. They do quite a lot of bits, the resin bits that were off theirs. Available.
Cockpit. Is there any cockpit detail? Because that's the one thing. That's weird. You'd think they would be, wouldn't you? Because you can see quite a bit of it. What about wheel wells?
They're going to
What colour were they?
Yeah. So they ditched their Arado.
Did it never come out? Or was it really limited and they pulled it?
Very, very limited.
Because I said that's worth some money then if you can get hold of an original. Because the catapult's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it came with a catapult. I remember seeing it now, that kit. Yeah, it weren't out for long, was it? Like,
I didn't realise they pulled it. It's a bit brave, isn't it, to actually yank it?
I suppose if that's up against a Revell one that would have been, what, 30 quid at the time, compared to their 100 and whatever.
I don't know. Woodhouse Goth. I don't know why it keeps doing that to your post, but anyway, I am locking as they come through. He says, hi guys, I'm looking to move away from Humbrol enamel paints. I'm looking to use AK real colours. I know that you need to use a retarder. Is there a difference between Tamiya lacquer retarder? Do you need a retarder? I've never used a retarder with them.
With what, sorry?
With real colours.
No.
I must admit, I haven't. I use lacquers, don't get me wrong, but I've never used retarder, and I've used both rapid drying thinners as well as normal self-leveling thinners and all the rest of it, and never needed a retarder into them, to be honest. Once you put a lacquer thinner into them, they just react like lacquer paints. So I don't know about putting a retarder in them.
I don't know.
Yeah, Russell said the 196, the AR196 put the swastika on the rudder because the tail was too small and they wanted a large one to be seen. Yeah, I thought that was because it's a weird sort of like the rudder's
massive. It is
3 times the size of the tail. Yeah,
it's all rudder.
Yeah.
So he says, second part of this question, and the Tamiya lacquer thinners with retarder, and what would you recommend for brush painting, please?
Right, just watching your demo the other day, Phil, and you did use a Tamiya retarder with AK real colours and it worked. Yeah, it will work.
It will work, but I think you don't really need it. So I don't think it's one of those things where it actually needs it. For brush painting, AK, I've never tried it. I can't comment on that. But if you could put, I assume you can put a lacquer thinners into it, a lacquer retarder into it, because it reacts like lacquers, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
So I would say yes, you can.
I wouldn't say it's big brush for brush painting now. We're going down that road, aren't we? Of it'll just eat itself and tear up what you've already put down.
Yeah.
But I suppose if you're doing it one, if you're dobbing in stuff, it's fine. Touching in, it's absolutely fine as long as you ain't got to keep going over it. So, interesting.
But yeah,
do AK do colours for the F14A? Yes. Yes, they do.
Light gold, grey, and white.
They do definitely do that. Insignia white, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's the FS numbers?
So it'll be 26440 for light gold grey, and for the white, I don't know, because I never use insignia white. I just use white with a double buff in it.
Oh, there's another part to this, Scott's put. I have the Tamiya 32nd one. Any problems? Yep.
Well, it's raised panel lines. That's your first problem.
Yeah. Well,
to be honest, the kit itself isn't a bad kit. It's Tamiya, but it's old school Tamiya. So it's got the odd little clunky problem with ejector pins and stuff like that. It's a little bit clumsy as a kit, but purely because it's very old now. That kit's like 50 years old now, isn't it?
It's old, isn't it? So is that the half raised, half recessed one?
No, the A is raised all over.
Right.
The half and half is the bomb cat they did.
Right, okay.
The B.
Oh, talking of bomb cat, somebody's bringing a bomb cat out. Bugger.
Level?
No.
Well, it can only be AMK then, isn't it?
No.
Hobby Boss already have got a B.
Who is it? Is it Great Wall Hobbies are bringing one out? Somebody's bringing one out. Or is it Academy?
Academy do a B, don't they?
Yeah, I thought Academy do a B already.
Yeah, I've got the Academy B, I'm sure.
Yeah, they do a bomb cat.
Yeah, but you're on about 48, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's 72nd bomb. Somebody's bugger, I've seen it. I bet somebody will shout up. Yeah, I can't remember. Don't know, it's gone.
What's that about the HE115? You've done an HE115, haven't you?
I haven't done one. We've got them, haven't we? Because it's a nice looking plane, he says, I think. He likes the HE115 with the gull wings, and it's the one they pulled out the fjord, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. I think Graham's put the things up. Yeah. Yes, it's the HE115s they pulled out of the Norwegian fjord a few years ago, and I think they're going to restore it, aren't they, or rebuild it back to how it was. I don't think it'd be flyable, but they're going to redo it. Special Hobby do one, and Matchbox did one years and years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, years ago.
Like really, long time ago. And then Revell released it again. Yeah.
Flying Dutchman says trumpeter 32nd question mark.
That's all right. That's one you built.
Yeah, I did the D. It's all right actually. To be honest, I'd rather build the trumpeter one over the Tamiya one, even though a lot of people say the Tamiya one's more accurate shape. But at least it's all recessed, and it's a straightforward build. So, Great Wall Hobbies in 72nd are bringing out a Bombcat F14B.
There you go. There you go. I knew it was somebody.
Thank you, Mr. Bear.
Especially before HE115, that one that had the dodgy
plastic
first time round, didn't it?
Yes.
You couldn't glue it together with anything apart from radiation.
And it needs a mass set.
Needs a mass set.
I don't know, Russell, if I'd bother with a Matchbox one. It's showing its age, unless you really want to build a 72nd one. I bet it's not cheap either, because Matchbox kits have gone up since
we started building them.
Hey, since Matchbox March or whatever, yeah. It's not a small aircraft, actually. It's quite a big thing. So, it's How long's the outro video today?
I think it's 3.5 minutes.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
So have we got a launch today as well? Anybody who's watching the old SN15 SpaceX? Apparently, I don't know if it's been scrubbed or not because I'm doing this, but it was supposed to be today, isn't it? See if we can land it this time without it like either exploding or just dropping like a brick.
What's it, 6th time lucky or something?
No, this will be 4th, isn't it? I'll just try it. Is it 3rd time it's tried to land it, or is it the 4th?
I was reading that Was it the one for the last one was delayed because the FIA
Didn't approve it.
approved it? They wanted to.
FIA, don't they do the Formula One FIA?
That's
Yeah, that is the FAA.
FAA.
FBI. The FBI didn't approve it.
FAA. Yeah.
Oh, cheers, Alan.
Because I didn't realise that they had to sort of like look into all the accidents, even on them.
Yeah.
It's got to come under some.
It's quite ironic it detonated before it landed as well, because it didn't get approval to fly. Fourth time. There you go.
Got to be under some.
If they looked at NASA's faults all the time through in the 50s and 60s, they'd never have got off.
I know, but times have changed since then, haven't they?
Yeah.
Health and safety's come into play since then. So, just to answer Russ, it's a special lobby one in 148.
It does look nice, doesn't it?
Hi guys, do you know if anyone has done a conversion for the RF8 Crusader? Ooh,
No.
I don't know. Not that I'm aware of in thingy.
No.
Again, that's one of those weird ones because I thought, obviously Hasegawa and all the rest of it, they did a lot of RF Phantoms and stuff like that as a natural progression of the kit, but the Crusader just never did it.
It's not really a common thing, though, was it?
Well, it made its fame, wasn't it, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, wasn't it? Because it flew across Cuba and took all the photos. So
Yeah, I suppose.
that was the big thing for it. And obviously it's used in Vietnam a lot.
Soren says, "Where's Andy going on holiday?" Nowhere.
Nottinghamshire.
Yeah, North Nottinghamshire.
Because we're sort of nearly halfway through the year and I've not used any of my holidays up.
It is. We're nearly in May, Philip, already.
I know, it's scary, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and my wife's got a new job and so she can't have any holidays for about the next 10 years.
Very true.
Decided I might as well just have a holiday. I can put a holiday in.
Just have a week off. Apparently it's 8 p.m. UK time.
Oh, is it? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yes, that's all right. Might watch that. I watched the Strato thing fly yesterday. That was quite clever, seeing that thing go up. Because it just looks like it's about to snap in half. It looks like a Jerry Anderson job. Cool. Very, very good. Right, well, should we call it quits right there?
Yes.
So thank you very much all for joining us this afternoon. Absolute pleasure as always. Obviously, it's Bank Holiday Monday, so if you are planning on putting in orders, either with the Flory Models shop or obviously with the PM store, obviously nothing will go out till Tuesday. So if it's a little bit longer getting to you, it's not us, it's the post office and stuff. Obviously, I'll get the reviews done next week of these as well. So obviously, early part of next week, these will go up. Part 2 of the actual Zero will be up with you on Monday, nevertheless, as make our way through, and then we'll be back with you next week. Well, apart from Andy. Andy won't. We'll put a cardboard cut out of him.
Yeah.
Sitting there, he'll be absolutely fine with that one. So as always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery from this week's completed model. So until next week, everybody, happy modelling, take care, and we'll see you all very, very soon.
Bye.
Say goodbye. Oh, I've got to find the outro bit. There it is. Bye.
Bye.
I was not ready to falling like I'm wasted. My